Since 2010, gaming exploded with the rise of YouTubers, Twitch streamers, microtransactions, and Battle Royale. Over the last 10 years, some games have stuck out more than others, and I would like to talk about my favorites. I'm not going to go too in-depth or have detailed descriptions for why I chose such game, because the video will last forever. These are the best games of the last decade.
2010.
The best game of 2010, without a doubt, is Halo Reach. Reach is my favorite Halo game in terms of custom games and infection. It was on this game that I started my clan. I can remember the nights when me and all my buddies would play custom games for hours and hours over the summer. It is for this reason why I have so much nostalgia for Reach. In my opinion, the community made this game better than what it really was. I would like to give a big shout out to the Halo Forge epidemic, which isn't around anymore, and every map maker from this time period who made custom lobbies amazing. Once I messaged Darth Human himself and got a reply. I felt like such a fanboy in that moment.
2011.
This one is a no-brainer and has appeared on many lists. Skyrim is the biggest Bethesda game ever and has been memed about being released over and over again, which they still are. I have gotten all the achievements twice on this game and put way too many hours on the PC with mods. Skyrim is one of the few games you can play and not really feel time passing by. If I had to choose why I love this game, it would be that Skyrim gives you the sense that you discover everything you come across and that the game evolves based on decisions you make in quest lines. If for some reason you haven't played this game, check it out next time it goes on sale, because you're really missing out. Now the game, going back to it, it feels a little dated. This is probably the only game on this list that at first glance feels old.
2012.
Let's take a trip down memory lane to the best Call of Duty ever created. I was in middle school when this game came out, and it was the talk of the hallways. Grouping up in 6-man lobbies and talking about the BS of school were some of the greatest memories of my gaming career. Black Ops 2 videos were really taking off at the time, and everyone was playing this game. In my opinion, this was the last good Call of Duty in terms of quality, because other than some skins, this game had no microtransactions. Campaign, multiplayer, and zombies were all great. Black Ops 2 was the first game I ever got DLC for, and I enjoyed the hype leading up to it. Mainly for zombies, because it was fun trying to figure out the Easter eggs and discovering the story of COD Zombies. Back in the day, this is when the COD Zombies exploded. Going back and playing maps like Mob of the Dead, Buried, and Origins are really fun. Because I remember when these maps came out, who I was playing with, the videos around the time, and doing the Easter eggs on those maps.
2013.
Now, I never would have thought an Ubisoft game would be on any top list for me. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise, but the formula got really old quick. However, this game had something amazing: pirating. This was more fun than the actual game. You would start off from the story, wherever it was, I don't remember. Then, if you wanted to, over time, you'd work your way down the map to the harder territories, looting, upgrading your ship. After defeating a ship, you could either sink it or board it, sail across on these cool ropes, get more supplies, recruit more pirates, and it was really fun. It was so much fun to pirate in this game that I would lose track of the main game and go into areas before I was supposed to. On top of a fun pirating system and better movement, this game looked beautiful. A crystal clear water, sunsets, the Spanish architecture were all visually appealing. I made a video about this game forever ago, and I'll link it to the description if you want to watch it.
2014.
Now, I'm going to clarify on why I picked this game. Over time, this game got worse, in my opinion. However, the first 6 months were a brand new experience for me in gaming, and that is what I'm going to focus on. This game came out during the early adopter phase of the Xbox One, and if you were around back then, you probably had some friends who got the Xbox One, some who didn't, and these games would be on both systems, but you couldn't play with each other. So me and a few friends were on the 360, and my rich friends were on the ones, so we never really played a lot. Wow, whatever. My favorite part of the game, which is why I think is the best game of the year, is the Vault of Glass raid. It required 6 people and a lot of cooperation to be done. The raid did not have a matchmaking system, so you had to get 5 friends together or go to destinytracker.com and find some folk. From memory, the raid started off with building 3 pillars or something outside the door, and then once you had that done, you would open to be able to enter in. And once you moved in, there was a little pathway, and eventually you'd reach the sledge that would drop down into oblivion. But this ledge was overlooking the next stage. You could either jump across and start the sequence, which, if I remember, you'd have to shoot these orbs in an order, or if you didn't, you get marked for death, and then you're dead. Then after the orbs part, a boss would spawn. I think it was called the Templar. It was kind of the same concept, I think. You'd have to shoot orbs and damage them. I really don't remember. That's the one part I don't remember that much. However, though, once you'd killed this Templar boss, you would move on to the next phase through this hallway of orbs. And if one of these orbs would see you, you'd be marked for death and your whole squad would die. You had to play the whole section all over again. Which was, you'd make it all the way out and you'd have that one teammate who just, screwed up, and then you'd have to restart it. And then once you make it past, you gotta jump on these disappearing platforms. And then you make it to the final area where you fight the stud, Atheon. This is the most complex final boss I have ever played in a video game. My memory's a little fuzzy. It's either 2 or 4 people stay in the area. So there's like a platform, there's like a main area, and in the center there's a platform. 2 people stay in, and the other 4 go through portals, 2 on each side, to shoot the orbs to be able to come back. So whoever's holding the shield can shoot Atheon to lower his shields, and then you can all gang up on him with your golden guns, all your fancy stuff. I don't remember what all the abilities were. Basically, you'd murder Atheon as much as you could, and then have to redo the sequence until he was dead. However, if you were too slow to do this, your screen would turn completely black and you would all die. Depending on how well your team is, this fight can be quick or last a while. I've talked enough about the Vault of Glass right from memory. Hopefully I got a lot of details right, because I have not played Vault of Glass since Destiny year 1.5.
2015.
Rocket League is one of the most unique games I've ever played. Rocket League combines cars and soccer to make one of the most addicting and rage-inducing games ever. This game has perfect bite-sized gameplay. 5-minute games go by quick, and matching the same team several times until you finally beat them is very satisfying. This game continues to stay relevant today, and it has adopted the lane battle pass system. This game has held up incredibly well, as it is still being streamed on Twitch with pro teams playing, and it's got a competitive scene going on. Playing this game with friends is insanely fun because of how the game just works. It's hard to explain if you've never played it, but hopefully if this gameplay you get a good idea what this game's about.
2016.
2016 gets the MVP award for having some of the best games of recent memory. These include Battlefield 1, Horizon 3, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, and Gears of War 4. Heck, you could even throw in some mobile games such as Clash Royale and Pokemon Go. Each one of these games brought something fresh to the table that year. Battlefield 1 was in a time period that rarely gets any attention, the Great War, with amazing weapons and battlefields that you would never experience before. Forza Horizon 3 is an incredible racing game set in Australia and has beautiful scenery, amazing cars, sounds amazing. The sound design of the game is amazing, and it was the first racing game I really enjoyed since Need for Speed Underground 2. Overwatch was the first big hero shooter and is still massively popular today. Gears of War 4 was a great improvement on the formula, and we all know about the fad that was Pokemon Go. I enjoyed all these games a ton, but if I had to narrow it down, it'd have to be Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was the first Battlefield game I experienced in its prime. I loved the weapons, maps, and grand operation. This game took its place as one of the best of all time when the French DLC came out, titled They Shall Not Pass. I played that sucker for hours and hours because it had infantry-only maps on Verdun and Fort de Vaux. Woo! Man, those are some fun times just thinking about it. Later on, this game would have more DLCs which would introduce the heavy bomber that is insanely overpowered. When you see someone flying in on the map, you know what they're going for. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 player feeds. I may have gotten one of those before and they're very addicting.
2017.
Fortnite is the biggest game ever and elevated a lot of content creators and parents' credit cards. It is absolutely the best of 2017. I'm just kidding, no it's not. It was Friday the 13th, the game. This came out at the beginning of the summer that year and was my #1 game played in terms of hours logged, mainly because it was the summer and I was unemployed. This game was amazing even though the first month or so had a bajillion bugs and glitches. Because it was so addicting, I could look past all the glitches and still play it because it was a relatively new concept. So the concept is that one person is the man, the legend, Jason Voorhees, while the other 7 are camp counselors and have to either escape the map, survive the night, or team up and kill Jason, which is complicated. I don't really remember how to do it. Friday the 13th holds a special place because I met some online friends that I still game with today. I'm going to add some more detail in here because I realized Friday the 13th was really short for my description. This game was fun because of how the community played it. Now, this game has proximity voice chat, which is probably the most underrated feature of any video game that has ever had this. Look at PUBG for example, not PUBG, H1Z1 for example, talking trash to the person you're about to kill. That is just so fun to do. So Jason's coming up on you and the counselors, and everyone in your game's talking trash. Jason kills somebody. What I really loved about this game is how fast people would turn on you if they were about to die. It's like if everyone's getting in the car, they wait till Jason grabs somebody because it takes a few seconds from the grab to the kill. They load up in the car and just take off and leave you. Man, I wish I had recorded some of this stuff back in the day because like role-playing Friday the 13th is probably the best immersive experience you could get.
2018.
Now, I know what you were thinking. This is a collection of games that came out in 2015. Yeah, well, it's my list. I do what I want. The reason why I picked this game is because I looked at all the games that came out in the year 2018 and I didn't really like any of them. However, though, I did play Match Chief Collection a lot, mainly because a guy I gamed with wanted to get as many achievements in this game as possible. So we started off with Halo Combat Evolved and went for the most annoying achievement, which required you to beat the game in under 3 hours on Legendary. We were not skilled enough to do it, as the game was meant to be played, so we had to use some speedrunning tricks on a few levels to get it done as soon as possible. The level that gave us the most trouble was the Maw, because we had 22 minutes left on our time and we had to beat it before that. It takes about 16-17 minutes to do it if you're average at the game on Legendary. After we completed all the Halo 1 achievements besides Lasso, because that's ridiculous, moved on to Halo 2 just to stop on our tracks because Halo 2 Legendary is freaking impossible co-op. I don't know how people play that game back in the day. It is so hard.
2019.
Apex Legends, the breakout star of last year as it released when Fortnite had a lull period between battle passes. EA did a great job in the marketing of this game, as they paid a ton of Twitch streamers to play this game the first week. Had they not done that, I'm not entirely sure how this game would be today. I have had way more fun with this game than I thought I was going to, because it is made by the people who made Titanfall, and I really like that game. If you play Titanfall and you play Apex, you can feel some of the movement still there. They carry over a lot of the same weapons, camos. I'm just hope one day they make a Titanfall 3, which we're never going to get. Oh well. The dev team is doing a great job of keeping this game updated and having events, bringing back old maps or variants of maps, which is something I like in Battle Royale, because the trend with Fortnite and stuff is that they just change the map over time instead of just make a new one. And to my knowledge, Fortnite has never had a variant map or special event where you go back and play, say the Season 1 map. However, though, Apex Legends has done that many times. So you get that good old scratch of nostalgia. Even though my desire to play Battle Royale games is gone, pretty much, I still have fun with Apex because I like the movement, the characters, the weapons, the sounds, all that. So there you have it, the best games of last decade. Let me know what yours were in the comments below, and if you disagree with any of them, feel free to let me know. This has been Agent Active, and we'll see you in the next one.